So today's major project list is to begin charting Jim's land because we're going to start building foundations there. Maybe as early as next week, if not definitely the week after, because it's January 4th. Happy New Year, everybody. And Jim and some of his family are coming the second half of February. And we're going to stand up 2 cabins for them. So that's exciting. So I got to get the foundations built. So yes, that's the big thing for today. The other thing is install as much of that 12-volt wiring and lighting as I can. The doorbell turned into a, something else. That's going to take a bit. But I should be able to get both the internal and external lighting up. Toilet's obviously not ready. That'll be probably an entire sub-episode. But, yep. So let me just show you what I'm talking about today. So yeah, that's one surveyor stake right there. There's another one right there. And I guess I took down the string that ran back here. I think I needed it for something else. But anyways, I got a bunch more. So anyways, we're just going to do a grid pattern going north, south, east, and west to get an idea of where everything is. You know, chart out where all the trees are so we can figure out the best place to start building and what trees need to come down. Jim marked a bunch of trees before he left. That's not a this week thing. Yeah, like all these got to go. Most of the pines are going to go, but yeah, unfortunately some of these oaks. But the big ones, oh my gosh, I guess that one's not going to stay. Probably the other one is though. Yeah, that one looks like a candidate for falling on top of your head one of these days. Anyways, I'm going to run into town real quick. I brought a couple of my Christmas presents from my kids that I'm super excited about, that I want to show you guys and immediately put into service. But I need to pick one thing up from the local supermarket and eat breakfast. So I'm going to go take care of both and go to the post office because I think a Christmas present from Jim is waiting for me there, which is going to make tonight way cooler than last night. Actually, way warmer than last night. But anyways, big day. I'm only here for a day and a half. Just dropped Jack off at school, so this is me heading back down south. Yeah, keep up. And it just occurred to me, you probably don't know what I'm talking about with the 12-volt thing. The week between Christmas and New Year's, when I was, I just stayed down south because all my kids had shown up. Instead of going absolutely bonkers doing nothing, I put together the 12-volt kind of panel wall. So while I'm running into town, you guys watch everything that I did while I was there. So enjoy. I'll see you at the end of it. Hey, Merry Christmas, YouTube. It's Christmas Day. I'm just relaxing, waiting for the kids to show up. I figure I finished all my cleaning up around here, and I think I'll get to work on some of the 12-volt stuff that I brought down south here to work on. So yeah, come along and let's get some 12-volt electrical done. I got some free time, so we're gonna get to work on some of this 12-volt stuff. I went to the office today and I connected the switch and the fuse to the wall panel. Now we're gonna focus on running cables. We've got the toilet fan. It's already been stripped and we're ready to hook up to the fuse box. Got the Ring doorbell camera. That is not 12-volt, but it's got this buck converter thingy that you put it through, and that makes it compatible with 12-volt. And well, the puck lights, but right now that's being used to hold up my camera. So I'm just going to focus on this for right now. I've got them just sort of provisionally spliced together. So let's see what happens. So clearly it powers on, but did it lose its marbles? Like, does it still have brains? And ooh, nice. So this is 33 feet. I need to get around 40 feet, so I'm going to get another one of these. I'm going to butt splice one side of this together. All of these splices are going to be indoors, so I'm not going to worry about the heat-seeking kind of butt splicers. For those who don't know, butt splicers is you just stick one wire in one end, the other wire on the other end, and you squeeze them down. It just pinches them together, quick and dirty. These are just normal. These ones here for 16 gauge, you could heat shrink these so they become waterproof. right, I've made some progress on my 12-volt wall panel. I'm going to take you through the individual components here. Obviously, this is the jackery, and it's just sort of hanging there. I've had a hard time finding the right plug to go into that, so that's going to take some time, but these will eventually link up into, whatever comes out of there. The positive wire goes to a 10 amp fuse, just a regular like automotive blade fuse, and the negative comes down to the negative bus on this fuse bar. The positive comes around to the main positive terminal, and then these three branch out. This is the interior lights, which will be this switch. Middle is the toilet, which will be the middle switch. Bottom is the exterior lights, which is that switch. I've decided to go away from the Christmas lights. I just ordered regular exterior RV lights. And then this one here is going to the doorbell, so it doesn't actually go through the switch. And then all of these disappear into the back where they're going to be plugged into the back of this, which is my next segment. It's coming together pretty nicely. And then I'll just bring this back to the bathhouse, drill a couple of holes to route, where these wires are going to go, and put it in place. So that's my update. I found a cable that's working just fine. Spliced it off, got it fused, got all the fuses in here, got the waterproof cover on, and I got the switches going here. Let me zoom out a bit. So I've got two things hooked up to it right now. I've got the toilet fan, which runs like a charm. This is going to be up the exhaust pipe, so I'm not going to hear that all day long, in the bathhouse. That would piss me off. And I got the interior light. Boop. The crazy thing about this is it wasn't working at first. I'm like, what the crap? Well, then I read these little stickers here, and turns out I had the wires crossed. I figured black went to black and whatever else went to red. So once I got that squared away, it's fine. I can't hook up the ring just yet because it turns out I got the wrong buck converter. That's coming. But so far, this is, I'm happy with this. I'm not super thrilled about, I've got this run nicely, but I still don't know if I'm going to love this just kind of hanging out on my wall. I might come up with some sort of a cover to just go over all that. Anyways, now I'm done playing around. So I've decided I'm not a fan of how this is turning out. Everything works as it should. As neatly as I've run the cables, I don't like the fact that they're exposed. If I walk through the door, I could catch a tool on, any of this. So I think I'm just gonna run the cables through a hole and have all this mess going on, behind the scenes. Not a big deal. So I've done some cleaning up, obviously. Drilled a couple holes there, just it's all running through the back, and we can test. Boop. Exterior light works. The flux capacitor works. And switch this over this just to test the last switch. And the interior light switch works too. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. Thanks for coming along. All right, so the jackery just sitting there in standby mode is not burning anything. So let's see, if I turn the light on, that burns an entire watt. 2 watts. And there's going to be 4 of those. Those are the interior lights. I should be getting the exterior lights in the mail in the next couple of days. We could test some of those out. The fan, let's get that back down to 0. Here we go. The flux capacitor, aka toilet fan, that's where I've seen it sit, is right around 4. I think that's supposed to run 24/7, but I don't know. We'll see. It all depends on how well it controls, the odor of the composting toilet. You see it's much cleaner now. Pretty happy with that. I did leave this on the outside just in case, just for troubleshooting. So if this fuse blows, I don't have to take the wall panel off to get at it. So it's fairly clean back here. Right now they're just kind of coiled up, so they're out of the way. These are all of the negatives. This is for the doorbell. Those are to go to the future lights and fans and whatnot. And of course this goes to power source. Not much I can do about this. Obviously I can not use butt splicers on these, but I gotta be honest, I'm not that great at soldering anymore. I don't know, I totally lost my skill. What little soldering skill I had when I was a kid just evaporated, and I will lose a fortune in the curse jar if I try to solder this stuff together. Hopefully this will work. I don't have a lot of experience with butt splicers either, but they seem pretty straightforward. But this is as far along as I can get it down here, so now let's just take it up north and put it in place. So we've got something of a different unboxing for you here. This is a Troy-built generator that is just being opened for the first time. And that is not anything super special. What is kind of crazy about this is that I'm pretty sure I bought this about 25 years ago. And I've literally, like, this is me opening it for the first time. Full disclosure, I opened it a couple of minutes ago because I wanted to put air in these tires to see if a 25-year-old inner tube would hold air. Inconclusive. This one is still solid. This one is not. So obviously we've got a problem there. Yeah, I wish I could find some sort of a date on any of this because that would be really cool. I don't really remember when I bought it. You know, this is hurricane country and generators are sort of the way you keep your house running when Florida Power and Light has had all its poles knocked over in the area. We've never had a power outage long enough to justify busting this thing out. And since I'm such a horrible caretaker of gasoline engines, I'm like, why would I start it up if I don't have to? Troy built, it's got a Briggs & Stratton, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, let's get this thing built. That's interesting. That has a definite settle to it. Well, these aren't performance tires. Yeah, that one's definitely going flat. Nice. Alrighty, we're on to 3B. Line up holes in the support leg with the holes in the generator frame. That looks pretty lined up. Now, grow a third arm so that you can... Oh wait, that's not part of this. Okay. That looks perfect. All right, well, I got it basically locked in there. Unfortunately, all of my tools are up north. This is quite literally all I had to tighten that down. So you see this is nice and chewed up there, and there's no chance of me getting to that one, but at least that's solid enough that it's not gonna, nothing's gonna break or bend when I set it down on that. All right, so except for the super ancient oil, which I'm obviously not going to use, this is the last thing left in there. Attach the handle, blah, 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 blah. Done. Attach with 2 long bolts, blah, blah, blah. Let's do that. Nice. Okay, those I was actually able to get on a nice grip onto those, so there. Nice and tight. Beautiful. All right, we're on. Number 4, add oil and gasoline. That's where we're going to stop. I'm still not going to start this thing up until we're up north. This is just me preparing this thing for travel. Yep, I'm pretty excited to have it as part of the arsenal. I'm sure it's going to come in handy at some point. Why am I taking it away from the house down south? Well, frankly, because for the same reason I never started it up. I am a crappy gasoline engine steward, and I don't think I'm going to be, anyways, fast forward all that to say, I'm going to get a regular Jackery power station or Pecron or something for the house down here. Because then it's just plug it in and you're working, as opposed to all this gobbledygook crap that I barely understand. This hasn't been used once in a quarter of a century. It's going to be used a lot up north. All right, ready for travel. We've already had a fatality on this generator, so we got to do a little anyways, got to fix it. Hard to tell from this one, but turns out inner tubes don't like doing nothing for 2.5 decades. So let's swap them out. And I'm going to try to fix this because it's already shown signs of bending because I left it so loose. I had forgotten that my brother had left this little guy here. When I said I had no tools, I had forgotten about this. It was buried in my desk. That's a lot better than putting it together with these 2 guys. Nice and solid. So we will call that done. We'll wait and see if this thing starts up when it gets to that point. Back from in town. I hope you enjoyed stuff I did over the break, but time to get back to work. We're going to start with unveiling 2 of the Christmas presents that my kids got me. They're definite game changers. So let me see, where did I put my magic wand here? Ding! That was magic. Wait, that's my pointer stick. This is the Wonder Wash, and this is the manliest color they had, and it's really simple. Put the water, put the liquid, the clothes, and you just kind of for a little bit. That's manual agitation, 100% off grid. This is the mini spin machine. It doesn't dry, it just spins really, well, faster than, it gets more water out than I can possibly do by wringing. It is powered, but it's low powered. I don't think this is going to be what breaks the electronic banks. And then after that, the clothes go on, just a regular clothesline, which I'll probably use this for. I'm starting my day with this because, I need my clothes to dry because I need to wear them tomorrow. So I am so excited about this. This changes everything. Believe it or not, in 64 square feet, when you have dirty laundry in there, it stinks the place up pretty quick. I'll actually show you how this works. Then we'll get to doing regular work. Thank you, kids. This is a freaking game changer. It says for a half load, which is 2 pounds, to do 3 quarts of water. Gotta be honest, I've got nothing to measure water with, so I'm just gonna pretend this is a quart. And I'm not filling the kettle up all the way, nor did I boil the water. I just sort of made it warm. 2 tablespoons of detergent. Oh well, going for it. 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, good enough. All right, look that way while I throw my underwear in. Bloop. All right. Add the laundry, fit the pressure lid on the top and turn clockwise about 1/8 until you can't turn it anymore. Put the lid on. Like I said, put the lid on. Turn 1/8 of a turn. All right, so now it's sealed. So for a half load, wash time of 1.25 minutes. Yeah. Unfortunately, my timer's on there. Counting Mississippi's in my head, so if I look distracted, I'm gonna spin it this way too. You know why? Because why the freak not? So obviously it's gonna take a while to do, a week's worth of clothes, but that's not the idea. The idea is, I have to do laundry more oh, wait, it gave a speed here. Turn clockwise, no, wrong one. 1 turn per second. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Okay, so that's about the speed to go. So kind of think staying alive in my head. I've completely lost track of time. I don't think I can overdo it. Not only do I not care, I'm certain my jeans and my underwear and my socks don't care. Normally I would just sort of save up my laundry and do it when I got back down south or at Chris's house or something, but that means I have to pack quite a bit to come up here. Just frees me from all that. Waiting for the Jack in the Box to come out. All right, that's probably been 1.5 minutes. So it says, after washing, unscrew the pressure lid by turning it, blah, blah, blah. Remove the pressure lid and drain, and then rinse. What's the best way for you guys to see that? The drain. The drain hole. So let's just kind of bring this over here. Normally I would do this in a bathtub or something like that, but I don't have a bathtub or something like that. Whoa. There it goes. Spewing out nice soapy water. This is awesome. Man, that's slick. Let's rinse. I have no idea how much water it requires to rinse. Okay, that was a lot of water. Yeah, it's still pretty soapy. I think I overdid it on the soap. Yeah, I definitely think I overdid it on the soap. All right, well, that's draining. I'm gonna go hook up the dryer. I brought the dryer inside, but then I realized the dryer is gonna have to drain at some point, so it's not doing that inside. The capacity in this thing is really, it's not meant for a lot. Directions on this thing were super straightforward. Put the heavy stuff down first, don't overload it, press the button, it'll stop after 5 minutes. My brain says wring that out, but I'm not going to. That's kind of this thing's job, right? Here goes nothing. Boop. You're making me look bad. Oh no, there it goes. So, how you guys been? How's your new year? I don't remember reading anything in the directions about draining this. That's what we'll read while we wait. A pair of pants usually takes 2 days to dry. What? Oh, gotcha. If you don't use this. My fear is that with this wind, my pair of pants are going to be down the street. Yep, doesn't say anything about draining. So we're going to get to do a little exploratory water removal. I think I should have load balanced this better. Yeah, that doesn't feel any different at all. I should like play a song or something when it started, because I sure can't hear it. It's not until it starts shaking that I know that it's doing something. All right, so I'm sensing the capacity, and this is about half the capacity of the washer. I have to remember that. I'm really dying to know where the water comes out. Because in all of Harry Potter, they had never told us what the spell is to, you know, siphon off water. Dumbledore just did it to Harry when they're in front of the cave after swimming to it. Dumbledore and his nonverbals. Yeah, I wonder if this is draining out the bottom. I know I didn't spill this much water onto it. Oh, we'll find out after these come out. Still curious where the water went. Yo, found it! Oh yeah. You know, they should have said something in there about hang the drain hose over. Good to know. You know, part of me wants to run that again, but part of me just wants to move on. Yeah, it's still kind of wet. All right, I can run it one more time. Okay, now it's humming. I don't know what in the world I did. There must be different button presses, but it's like, now it feels like it's spinning fast. And there's all sorts of very soapy water coming out. So I think I over soaped. So that was obviously a very different load. And, oh, this is totally different. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Awesome. Nice. They smell so beautiful and fresh. Okay, I'm a fan. So I'm gonna hang these up here and hope to heck that the wind doesn't take them. Alrighty, so I'm gonna do the rest myself. That's gift number 1 and 2 and game changer. Absolutely love it. Thanks, kids. So I need to run into town. In order to get the proper measurements for Jim's lot, I need one of those 165-foot tape measures, which I have. It's just hiding here somewhere. I don't want to leave yet. The clothes are almost dry. That washer and dryer is so freaking epic. I mean, it's only been like an hour, and my jeans, and let's be honest, I got a lot of square freaking footage surface area on jeans that fit on me. They're almost dry. So anyways, while we're waiting for that to happen, and I'm giving the solar, I hooked the second, let me back up. So I got an adapter from Harbor Freight that made me able to plug the MC4 connector solar panels on the roof into the Jackery, which uses this 8mm plug. That's working fine. But with all this, so that's 200 watts, but with all this cloud coverage, I'm only getting like 50 watts of solar. So I brought out the collapsible ones and I'm getting maybe 220 watts. Anyway, so while we're giving that a chance and giving the clothes a chance to dry, I'm going to open up the Christmas present from Jim, who obviously watched the last episode and said, you know what, that Mike has been boiling water for his showers long enough. Look at this crap. Wow. Yeah, no more boiling water for Mike. At least I don't think. All right, if it starts raining, I'm going to be really kind of panicked. I'm expecting to see like Winnie the Pooh and, you know, Roo go, or Piglet go flying by with holding an umbrella. Or maybe Mary Poppins. So Jim was nice enough to get me the Camp Lux propane powered water heater. Warning fire hazard. That's what you want to see on your water heater. I need to take a second to try to figure this bad boy out before it's, you know, because if I wait until it's dark, then I'll probably just say, nah, skip it and boil my water. And I really want to use this thing. I'll let you know how it goes. Done some reading. This baby's not quite ready for prime time yet. It needs 2 size D batteries and it needs a water pump, which this model didn't come with it. So I think they sell that at Harbor Freight as well. So I'm gonna go check, but it could be that this is a next trip kind of a thing. I'm still insanely excited about this. This is a step in the right direction, a big step. This is our great Christmas. So, all right, heading into town. So I found the tape measure, so I'm not going into town. I'm going to make the propane shower. That's the next trip thing, because it's going to rain later today. I just found out. I kind of thought about it. I said, all right, think, what is the least convenient spot you could possibly have put that tape measure? I went right there, and there it was. Just had to, you know, excavate half the boat rack to get to it, but I got to it. I'm going to get to work here. We're going to start on the west side, because that's the one that's much more clearly marked. Like I can see where it starts there, and the twine is mostly still there, and it goes to where that tire is. I think it'd be best if we got a metal detector out here at some point, but really I think most of Jim's building is going to be up here, so really what's in the back doesn't really matter that much. So I'm going to get to work. Okay, taking a break. Just got done putting all the stakes on the perimeter of Jim's lot. I had forgotten how exhausting it is to just traipse around, you know, the untamed areas of this, ducking under trees and getting caught by thorn freaking nasty vines. I'm beat, and I sort of forgot lunch. I do that. Just do a kind of, just one more thing, then I'll eat. The big news is that, because I'm stubborn, I found the 2 surveyor pins on the north side of Jim's lot. So all pins have been recovered, and they weren't moved at all. So, I mean, you'll have seen the footage by now, probably sped up like a lot, but the first time I ran the west side, you know, a lot of that was just sort of kind of dead reckoning back when Jim and his family were here, because we had lost that northwest pin, and I was off. So Jim, I apologize. I tried stealing, I don't know, a couple 100 square feet in a sort of pie shape, but I stole from myself too, because it goes farther north than I put it. So we are 100% discovered again. The grid looks gritty, so I'm gonna eat something real quick, and I think I'm gonna go hang in that hammock for a bit, and then I'll maybe start running rope, or I might do the rope tomorrow. I'm not sure. Kind of pooped. Now I'll run the rope today, because tomorrow I need to actually do the charting. Whatever is that, cartography? Is that technically a map? Whatever the crap it is, just to figure out where everything is. All right, cool. See ya. Before the rain hits, I want to try to get 2 of these exterior RV lights mounted under the eaves, so I can be working on them on the inside while it's raining on the outside. Yeah, they're kind of angled, and I'm going to stick them up under the eaves. I don't want to do the sides yet, like the east and west sides, because since there's no overhang, you know, I got to think of how I want to waterproof these things. You know, basically, I'm not prepared to rush into that just yet, but these, I'm okay. The thing that kills me is, you know, I'm so big into symmetry, and dead center is right where this freaking rafter is. So gotta take my pick, to the left or to the right. Let's see if that's big enough to stick the wires through. It's not much to it, just a positive and a negative. This is a 12 volt, like I said, RV. It's just a bunch of LEDs. I have no idea how bright it is, but it's got to be better than these Christmas lights. The Christmas lights were never intended to be a permanent solution. Those were a, you know, under $10 quick way of me getting light out here when I first put the walls up. And looks like that'll do it. Nice. Let me go see if that's poked through on the other side. And it is. Boop. There we go. Nice. And with these you have the choice of a clear or an orange filtery thing. Obviously I'm going with clear. Yep, it's about to rain. So I think I'm just going to do one of these today. Okay. So this is me hearing rain for the first time in the bathhouse. And this is me also seeing if it leaks. I haven't seen any indication of leaks. I do have to just recognize how fortunate I've been that pretty much since I've put the walls up here, I haven't had to fight rain at all. So the fact that this is the first time me hearing rain in Florida is crazy. So I'm just going to relax for a minute. Then I'm going to start doing, running some 12-volt wire through the rafters. I think I need to rethink. Let me show you. Might need to rethink where that jackery hangs. That's not a comfortable hang. I mean, this cable is not going to be in it. This is a regular AC 120-volt cable. That's history. But still, the real problem is I can't see the display from down here. Even when I turn on the display, like, all that does is look like a white screen to me. I think I might need to bring it down here and just be comfortable with the fact that I might get some sprinkles when I walk through the door. So I'm doing some 12-volt wiring. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and I'm going to show you how you know when it's time to pack up for the night because you're being stupid. All right, so this goes to that RV light that I showed you guys I was mounting, and I could not get the thing to turn on. Sometimes, like with this one here, black goes to red and white goes to black, which is just bonkers, but I don't have any reason to think that this is the same thing. But I switched it around and tried a few different things, and then I'm like, you know what? Let's just chase the wire. So it goes through there, goes through that hole, and oh, frack. Yep, time to go to bed. All right, let's see if it works this time. Oh, that is encouraging. There you go. Nice. Well, I cast a pretty decent light. Obviously, being in an eave, it doesn't cast a huge light, but I'm not trying to illuminate everything. Okay, I didn't listen to common sense and I pushed through, but I wanted you guys to be here and I needed dark to fully appreciate. First of all, this is the sound I've had to deal with. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah. We are on 12 volt. Just kind of, those are going to go through the ceiling insulation and plywood. So for right now they're just kind of hanging there, but that is sufficient. Good morning. I am really just buttoning up and leaving today. It's obviously another lovely rainy day. That's kind of putting the kibosh on what few plans I had for the day are scuttled. So I think I'm just going to load up the Scion and get the crap out of Dodge, to be honest with you. I had originally planned on, maybe I'll run some grid rope just because I want Jim to be able to determine where he can build. I think the real kick in the pants is that marker right there that's bright orange. That's the 25-foot easement. So we can't build up here. And that goes over to right there. So all that is preserved. So buddy, we're gonna have to build out here. I'm afraid the boat shack is gonna have to go. It just occurred to me I did the spikes in the wrong order. On the north side, I started over there on the western corner, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65. On this side, I started on this corner. I need to go and swap one of those. And it's not going to be this side, I'll tell you that much, because that's where all those bloody vines are that just grab onto your clothes and won't let you go until you offer them one of your children. Okay, I'll get to work on that. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but I've created the east to west grid for probably the area that would possibly be built. So yeah, you can't build in this section because this is the 10-foot setback from my property. Can't build south of these stakes, which lead through that. It's weird, I got used to thinking that this road that I park on was, straight east and west, but it's not, not at all. So anyways, I think that's good enough for now. Besides, I've run out of twine. But I suspect this is going to be the building area right here, which means we got to find a new parking space. We got to move the boat rack. All right, let me just graph this real quick. All right, well, I'm done here. Been a good quick trip. The big thing is getting the 12-volt stuff done. Finding the 2 surveyor stakes back there is huge because now we absolutely know the definitive boundaries where we can build. And, getting this grid stuff put in. We'll see how, some of it I've left on the ground intentionally because, I don't want to drive over that. Been a good quick trip and I got to experience rain in there. Woo! The important thing is that it didn't leak, so I'm just gonna lock up and hit the road. Thanks for coming along. We will see you guys again next week. Probably up here again. Ooh, I gotta put the shower away. Crap. Almost done, but that's all you guys gotta stick around for. So like and subscribe. Hope your New Year's going well, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Take care.